Something catches my eye and I stop mid-sentence. Sitting on a desk is a short-haired girl, curiously wearing a boy's uniform with a fork between her toes.
Holy DeviantArt! It's her!
A morsel of food stuck firmly on the end.
She is eating with her feet. How cool is that?
Oh yeah, I've seen people eat with their feet like that. It is pretty damn cool to see people like this. This odd way of dining seems to be caused by her apparent lack of hands, but her presence here is what makes me takes me aback even more. How did I miss her before? She's sitting in a corner, very still, but I still somehow took her as part of the furnishing or statue at first glance. I'm not being too observant today as a whole. Yeah, you get a girl into your chest and now you miss a girl in boys' clothes.
With red hair.
Yeah, so...
You could say she's a red herring.
The girl seems to be frozen in place, staring at me with her huge eyes like a rabbit in headlights.
I think everyone has huge eyes here.
She's staring at me, her mouth wide open, ready to accept the fork.
That's what she said.
That's what he wished she said. I'm staring at her, my mouth wide open, suddenly remembering I didn't finish my sentence and trying to think if I should. This weird stalemate keeps us both stunned into silence, punctuated only by the wall clock ticking rhythmically. Rhythmically. I thought that was
Hello. Okay, strange girl. I do it. Hello.
The girl stuffs a forkful in her mouth and is now staring at me expectantly while chewing. This is a bit awkward. Hello. I was told to pick up some supplies from here for some festival stalls. I didn't think there would be anyone here.
There isn't. That's why I came here too.
She picks up another forkful. Does that mean you're here then? She raises her eyebrows as if she was suspecting my observation was false.
You are pretty observant. I guess it does. But who are you?
This girl is pretty straightforward, isn't she? I'm Nakai. Hisao Nakai. I just transferred in on Monday.
I'm Rin. Teska Rin. Rin Teska. She said it both in Japanese and on Western style. That's nice.
That's interesting.
I won't shake hands with you, but at least we know who we are now. She says it with that face.
She says it as if she says it in such a joking way, like she's not so bothered about.
I think okay. This character conquered me in 2 lines, the first time around, so you can see why.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's very nice.
Her deadpan manner of talking makes it hard to determine whether she's joking about shaking hands or not. It kind of bothers me. Joking about these matters doesn't feel appropriate at all.
Let her be the judge of that.
Yes, let her be who she wants to be. While I'm trying to figure out what's appropriate and whether this girl is, she seems to have lost interest in me and is now gazing yearningly back at her food.
Can I continue my lunch? If you can mind me, I won't mind you. If you need to get your stuff, the supplies are all are at the back.
Go right ahead, but lunch? School's already over for the day.
What word would you use then? There is no word for a meal you eat after lunch, but before dinner, right? It bothers me very much too, but I don't really know what I should say.
Usually people call it brunch.
No, brunch is breakfast and lunch.
It's just that people seem to use brunch for any term.
They are wrong.
I don't think you're supposed to eat a meal between lunch and dinner to begin with.
Tell that to my four stomachs. But I'm hungry now, and my delicious boxed lunch would go to waste otherwise. Are we really having this debate? I have
Curry.
I have curry. It's very delicious.
Nom, nom, nom. That was the sequel to my to the sounds of eating.
Thank you for that.
With much decisiveness, Rin once again picks up the fork between her toes and with at least as much impoliteness, she points it straight at me. Okay, whatever you want. I got a wallet on me with only $10 in it.
Yen.
Yeah, 100 yen in it. That's all I have.
Oh, hopefully she won't lose my condoms. So Nakai, what brings you to the place? To this place?
Like I said, I was told to look for these things.
No, the school. From outside you look fine. Is your problem inside?
Very
Blunt.
perceptive.
Very blunt also.
I come to a full stop, opening my mouth but not getting a word out.
I can guess. I am good at guessing. Better than most people.
I just don't think they bother guessing at all. Rin cuts me off before I can answer her question, or skirt around it somehow. I don't know which I would have done. I froze in front of this issue again. I haven't even told anyone here about my condition, or maybe it's only because it hasn't really come up. I do get the feeling that that's not making issues of this a part of the social code here, as the teacher said. I wonder if the people here could relate. Probably not any better than any normal person could. I can't relate to Shizune's circumstances or Lily's either.
Why are you leaving her hanging all like that?
Naturally, while I go through this in my head, Rin keeps considering what my condition could be with an overtly contemplative look on her face.
I love this character so much.
She puts her fork between her lips and leans back, looking at the ceiling as if the answer was written up there. A beam of light illuminates her face from the window side, creating a mask of dark shadow on the other side.
Here we go.
I don't
think it's anything in your head, and something in your guts would be boringly ordinary, like this lunch of mine, and that's delicious.
Thank you for saying that.
Thank you for ranking the disabilities like that. The problem must be in your pants. She went right there, and the bar is having a crisis.
You have to be fucking kidding me!
Rin Tezuka, best character.
This messed up Sherlock Holmes kind of statement, and the sheer lack of tact it was delivered with catches me completely off guard.
I think you're not the only one, Isao.
Yes. We were having a nice game and suddenly they bring that up.
That's genius writing.
I think I might have reeled back even physically as Rin's eyes widened in revelation and astonishment.
So I was right. There's something wrong with your
tackle.
Tackle, isn't there? No.
Still partially in shock, but recognizing the need to reply something, I spit out the first thing that I can think of. No, nothing like that. I have a heart problem. Arrhythmia. I said it. More like blurted it out. But I said it.
And all you need to do was a little push.
The girl in front of me purses her lips together and glowers at me
Flowers.
Yeah, glowers at me, looking very disappointed.
Oh.
I wanted a problem with a penis. I wanted a penis problem.
How boring. Trouble in the pants would have been much more scandalous.
Scandalous? What were you hoping to get? What's with this reaction? I'm sorry to let you down.
Oh, in more ways than one. I forgive you. I forgive you. I forgive you. Just I expect people
Collect people.
I collect people, and a person with that kind of problem would have been really great. She's a people's disability collector. That's wow. If you look at the dictionary at the word Kirky, you find her picture.
You hear that? You hear that? Okay, guys, we know what Madhog's into.
Well, I am Kirky myself, so.
Collect people.
Also, she is an artist, the bar.
Yes, I kind of guessed from the fact that the very famous picture that comes with that everyone shows whenever this game comes up.
Yes. People with different problems.
Huh? So you just like go around asking people what's wrong with them?
I imagine she must have a lot of friends. Pretty much.
I see.
Dot.
With little left to say, Rin resumes her lunch and the conversation dies away. But I keep thinking about what she said, what was said about my tackle.
Son of a thing.
I guess Rin basically really wanted someone to have a problem with their downstairs area because it's like the one thing missing from her collection. It's the first time I've told anyone else about my condition. All the other people have either known about it already or heard about it from someone else, or didn't need to know about it, like every other student here so far. Should I have told it as a natural part of introductions? It is expected of me. Hi, I'm Isao. I have a very serious heart condition.
Okay, printed on your greeting card.
Is that how I'm supposed to go around introducing myself from now on? One would hope not. As if our disabilities would define us. What a disgusting thought.
You were the one calling the blind girl, and so forth. So.
Or maybe this Tezuka girl just has an unnatural interest in such things. As I walk to the back of the room to pick up the items on Misha's list, a chance opens to study Rin from the corner of my eye.
Gee, which means stare.
Her hair is a burnt auburn, almost orange and cropped short. Long hair would probably be impossible with no arms. The boy's uniform and lack of arms make her look very thin and almost scrawny. She is not particularly pretty except for her murky green eyes, which flicker restlessly from below her short bangs, even when she eats.
Honestly, I think she's extremely pretty.
The distance and the shadows make it seem like they don't reflect sunlight at all, but instead absorb all of it within them like deep wells. She moves her feet almost as deftly as a normal person would use their arms. However, I can see how this sight could discomfort people, especially while eating. It makes me feel a bit uncomfortable at least. I hesitate to think about the word unnatural, but it's too late now, isn't it? I keep searching the cabins and shelves for Misha's things, but after enough time passes, the silence grows too uncomfortable, so I try to force some conversation out of this strange girl. So, do you always eat alone and this late, or do you get the occasional visitor?
Visitors. Maybe You are the first occasional visit. Maybe you are my first occasional visitor, but I don't always eat alone either. Sometimes I eat with a rock. I have the company of a rock. Sometimes I eat with a certain person on the roof. If she's not horsing around.
Okay.
Wow. Okay, so the game is doing the pony puns for me. That's just great.
Horsing?
Yes, she likes to do sports.
Okay, it's Emmy.
Yes, that was just the coincidence. I think not.
Oh, and that's all I can think of to say. Both of us fall silent again as Rin forks the last bits of her meal to her mouth. I look down at my haul and double check it with Misha's list. It seems I have everything except plywood. So I think I have all the things I have now.
That's very nice for you. Don't feel obliged to stay. I was about to take a nap anyway.
Okay, you do that, and I hope you have a good report on that then.
You need to do whatever you are going to do with this stuff anyway, right? Or perhaps you like to watch girls sleeping? Oh.
No, I'm not one of those creepy guys. Eh? I'm not sure what to make of this, but Rin looks serious. Even if I did, I think I have to be going. I'll catch you around, Tezuka.
You can call me Rain.
Wow, on a first name basis.
I feel that our relationship is at this point is good enough to warrant this much.
Wow, she is like really
blunt.
Yeah, well, very easy to get along with and become friends with quickly.
Yeah, that's nice.
I was already turning to make my exit, but she draws me back in. Fine then, I'm Hisao.
Then you are.
Rin looks at me hard in the eyes, but that intimidating feeling you get when someone stares at you isn't there. It's like she's actually not looking at me at all. She blinks a couple of times and I can't figure out why a pause like this just popped between us out of nowhere.
See you later, Isao.
There was something like a tiny smile there in her face. Maybe.
Okay, Davar. I am going to tell you this now. I would really like to choose her path. What do you think?
I'm still thinking about it. I'm juggling between...
Okay, are you serious? I mean, Rin is like a cross between Maud Pai and Osaka from Azumanga Daioh. It's like, wow. I mean, aren't you just curious to see what would happen should we actually spend more time with her, with her unique perception on life and her behavior and her bluntness, her deadpan, which is comedy gold, by the way. Well, okay. So by now, we actually met all the girls that we have narrative access to, so to speak. Cool. So from now on, we're going to make a decision, and we're going to plan our moves accordingly.
Okie dokie.
Just so you know.
Yes. I quietly back out of the room. As I shut the door in front of my face, I whisper to myself,
"What a day!
What an intriguing person."
I have to say the very least.
From inside, I hear a muffled sing-song voice.
I heard that.
Where you come from?
Are you were in Five Nights at Freddy's, weren't you? God. person. Ah. Ah.
It feels
Just wow. Out of nowhere. What did you hear?
I jump at the sudden appearance of Misha, who I had not heard approaching despite the completely empty hallway. Somehow she had gotten to jumping distance of me without making a sound. Creepy. It briefly reminds me of a Kenji's nutty theory about a global feminist conspiracy, but I pushed that thought aside.
Honestly, after a day like this, she was hiding me. Honestly, after a day like this, I would be more inclined to believe in Kenji's crazy conspiracies.
Shizune, standing slightly behind Misha, looks aloof as you couldn't have heard the remark that drew Misha's attention, but Misha is visibly excited.
No, wait! More importantly, who's in there? There is a club meeting today.
There's no club meetings today.
There is no club meeting today. It's a ghost.
She tries to curiously peek past me, even though the door prevents her from seeing anyway. What are you doing here?
Were you stalking me? You took too long, then I can't check things wrong, blah blah blah. That's not good, Hee-chan. That's irresponsible, Hee-chan.
She wags her finger at me scoldingly, like a mother.
If someone like Misha were to be my mother, I would be the emoest. In contrast, I would be the emoest teenager ever. I found plywood, but everything else still missing. So
because you are tardy.
Because you're tardy.
Oh, sorry. I got the things here. Was just going to bring them.
I think you were to come to some mischief, Hee-chan. Who was in there with you? I wonder.
Is mischief kind of your way of saying?
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. We get it. We get it.
Misha signs something quickly to Shizune, pointing at her own ear a couple of times. Shizune immediately pushes her way past me and opens the door into the classroom I just left. I can only imagine the shock she is experiencing. With Shizune's diligence and attitude, the insolence of daring to deface school property by sleeping on top of it must be too much to bear. And indeed,
you cheated on me with her?
And indeed, she stares at Rin frozen in place, apart from the slight but noticeable trembling of her shoulders from suppressed rage, I'm sure. Instead of blowing up, Shizune just takes a few deep breaths, adjusts her glasses, and slams the door shut, turning to sign furiously at Misha. Maybe she did blow up.
Oh, you see how she turned towards us?
She apparently she's so mad it shook the entire school.
Oh.
Maybe she did blow up, but I just don't understand it.
Okay, seriously, is this Katawa Shoujo or Madoka box? Because
Madhog box. You had to reference my favorite manga series there.
That was just for you, man.
She shoots a very loaded stare at me too, as if it was somehow my fault that Rin is sleeping on one of the tables. I hope she's not getting any funny ideas about the reason of my tardiness.
Hello.
Don't bring up my tackle, Rin.
Oh, this should be interesting.
Rin's voice comes from the other side of the door, and it takes a few eye blinks to realize she might have trouble opening it.
Oh.
I open the door to find Rin directly behind it, looking at us with half-interested, half-sleepy face.
That's our default mode. Hello again. Miss Tezuka, what do you think you are doing? You absolutely are not permitted to use school property for such disgraceful activity. It sure is suddenly very
Crowded.
Very crowded in here. I didn't know I was this popular.
You're gonna be very more popular by the time this game comes out. Oh wait, it did. It's hard to say whether she's happy or unhappy about this turn of events. At any rate, she ignores Shizune's Misha's scolding, so they have no choice but to drop the issue.
Anyway, back to tormenting me-chan.
Shizune taps Misha's shoulder, points at Rin, and makes some quick signs.
Punish her. Popularity aside, please don't do that anymore. Anyway, how is your project going? Will you be down for the festival?
Rin looks at them blankly, apparently at ease under the pressure. Shizune's cold stare is putting on her.
I keep wondering about that myself too. And we'll think about it. We'll think about it harder.
As Misha signs her reply to Shizune, her face turns into an unsatisfied frown. Oh yeah, I can see what's going on here. Mr.
Zuka, please try to take this seriously. I'll be a disaster if the world looks like someone threw up their lunch onto it.
That's funny, because that was actually the idea of how I was gonna make it. Rin nods assertively.
We'll think more seriously.
Misha actually giggles at that, but Shizune doesn't. Not even after translation.
This is comedy gold.
Yeah. She just shakes her head, takes the materials from me, and takes off with Misha in tow. Rin frowns thoughtfully as she looks after the retreating student council duo.
How rude.
Says you!
Yes. It's true though. I must finish my project before the weekend. There will be dire consequences if I don't. I'll get feeded to an extra dimensional being. Bummer. The end of the world as we know it. like weeks.
Weekends.
Like weekends usually are, but more dire. I would love to see I would love to put her and Kenji on a stage and have them talk for an hour.
Yes, Rin would be the straight man.
Much more. No, nobody would be the straight man between these two, actually. Much more dire. Maybe I'll pinpoint.
Postpone.
Maybe I'll postpone my rap.
Nap, not rap.
I know. It's blurry through Skype.
I know, but still.
Ours seems like N seems like ours, and so forth. To unforeseen future. And she slowly slips away.
I am about to ask what project she has and what are these apocalyptic consequences, but she walks back into the art classroom.
Since you have nothing to do, would you give me a hand? Yes. I'll give you both of my hands. Here, somebody pass me a cleaver. This paint can doesn't fit into my bag, but I need it.
She kicks lightly at the huge can of paint that's lying on the floor next to the table she was sitting and sleeping on. She was sleeping on it. It lets out a dull clang. Being the gentleman I am, I naturally pick it up. Heavy! Yeah, sure. Where do you need to take it?
About half a mile over that direction. Awake. You might as well have said that.
And with that, she takes off the hallway, me and the paint can following, since there's little choice for either of us. The hallway is quiet and empty now, with Shizune and Misha gone, so we two leave towards the stairwell at the other end.
Bye for this painting. See you tomorrow. Maybe.
Every 10 or 15, 20 steps, I have to change the can from one hand to another because the thin handle cuts into my palm. At least it keeps my arms from tiring too fast.
I so can relate with that.
Rin strolls on beside me with an uneven pace that I have trouble matching. Well, maybe I am walking weird because of the extra weight. It seems one of us is constantly walking too slow or too fast, and I can't figure out which. 2 flights of stairs below, trouble appears in the form of the head nurse and his fox-like grin.
Oh my! He's back.
We meet again.
Oh my, Mr. Naka, what a happy coincidence. Tezuka too, of course. Just as I planned. Of course, of course.
He nods courteously to Rin, who does not acknowledge him back. He then turns to me, because obviously it's me, who he had some business with.
I am holding this thing, it's very heavy, can you get to the point? There is something I forgot to mention on Monday.
I nod and wait impassively because I can't even begin to guess what he forgot. The feeling of the handle delving deeper into my skin doesn't make me feel enthusiastic about the interruption either.
I think you can let go of the paint can for a minute.
I think you can too.
It's about your medications. Since you haven't been this long on your current medications, there might be some unexpected side effects which might require adjusting dosages or even another kind of medication. So we'll do a few tests
regularly.
But what we want for you is to keep an eye on everything your condition that feels off, if you get what I mean. Oh my. Nauseous, headache, and anything, and come see me if something happens. I'll be waiting for you, my dear boy.
Alright.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
It looks like you're winking.
Yes, he looks like he wants to eat your soul when he opens the eye.
So, how are you? Everything fine?
I give up and drop the can to the floor before answering him. Apparently, this takes longer than my biceps can handle. I'm about to say something generic as an answer, but then I realize how often I've done that lately. Other people have asked me that too. Teachers and students here, my parents, visitors, nurses, doctors at the hospital. Everyone seems to be concerned about that. It's natural for a hospital, not so much for a school. Except this school. This is a small school and both the student base and the faculty seem to be very tightly knit. At least that's the feeling I'm getting. And this is not the kind of school that gets transfer students too often. The thought sends shivers up my spine, but I give a generic answer anyway.
That's great, my boy.
I didn't say one thing!
Also, one other thing. My sources. Oh yes, sources too. My sources let me let you've been neither the school track or even the pool. So I'd like to know if you have taken up exercising as I asked.
Of course I haven't, but his way of inquiring gives me the feeling that I should have been running my ass off on the track since the very first day.
Why? Of course.
You have people spying on me? I think it's Kenji.
I have people everywhere. No, there's such. I just happen to know a few people, but that's not the issue here. So don't try to slip out of it.
Well,
I love how Rin is just looking back and forth between you and the nurse.
I know.
Standing there.
Well, I was actually just doing some improvised weightlifting as an exercise.
Do not make light of me, boy.
I pick up and lift the can up and down a few times, like some sad imitation of a bodybuilder, even though it's weighing down on my arms painfully. The stupid grin disappears from his face for a second, then comes back like it was never gone. I don't think he was impressed.
Tezuka, would you give me a second?
Uh-oh.
Ah,
The nurse grabs me by the shoulder without waiting for Rin's permission, which he didn't need in the first place, and drags me aside.
listen, my boy. When I told you to exercise, I wasn't joking.
Ooh, he's serious.
Yeah, he is serious. I understand, but you're still on your first week, but please don't ignore the importance of this. The reason I'm coming down this hard on you is that as the
Habits.
habit is is not easy to form. The more you sleep and postpone, the harder it'll be. It's the same with everything. Like dieting. Can you promise me to be more serious about this from now on? Maybe. Yes, or maybe. Maybe. Maybe.
Will this choice affect anything in particular?
Maybe. Maybe. Let's go with maybe.
Okay. Maybe. Maybe.
Maybe. No,
No, I mean... He gives me a nasty sort of look when I say that, making me try to take back the word. I mean, I don't know. I'm still trying to get used to school. I promise I'll try, though.
You're not being very convincing there, Iso. Tip number one. Tip number one.
Medical professionals are not amused if you take their advice lightly.
Ooh, my.
What's up with him? As if a day or two would make that much of a difference? I think so, Hisao, considering your condition. I didn't do anything at the hospital either. Yeah, okay, sorry. He studies me for a moment and then shrugs, smiling again.
Okay, that's more like it. If you go to the school truck tomorrow morning, you'll meet my spy, who probably has no qualms offering consultation to you if you want to jog a bit.
Why am I getting the feeling that Emmy is a spy?
Yeah.
Consultation?
See you around, my boy.
I think he winked at us there properly. He leaves.
Well, that was interesting.
He leaves with a wave of his hand and no answer, and I walk to Rin, who has been waiting idly, leaning against the hallway wall and staring at the pale lighting fixtures in the ceiling.
And it's a very familiar ceiling.
Even when I approach, she doesn't move her eyes off them.
Are you getting moderations for your heart?
Medication.
Are you getting medications for your heart thingy?
Were you listening?
She was right there.
It comes out more accusatory than I intended, accidentally lashing out at her on her. But even so, I don't really want to start talking about it. I just met her. I don't know her. It's not her business. The nurse seems to be happily ignorant about confidently, too, talking about that kind of thing in public. But it's not Rin's fault, is it? I look up at her, suddenly feeling a bit guilty, but Rin is just staring past my shoulder quizzically, her head tilted like a bird's.
Sigh.
Sigh. I don't know why this is so hard for me. It feels like there is some inexplicable lock that prevents me from being more upfront about this. Yeah, there for my heart.
Will they make you better?
No, not really. They just make me a little less worse. Rin keeps looking at me for a while longer, and she neither says anything further nor displays any kind of emotion I could discern. I'm thankful that she doesn't. I think I'm still not quite used to all this. At the hospital, it was easy, but I still haven't sorted my feelings about having to live a normal life with this disability. We leave the main building and Rin leads us onwards towards the dorm. We stop at the small patch of greenery in front of the dorm building. The dorm is built on a slightly elevated ground with a wall and a few trees, blah blah. I don't care about your descriptions, I can see it. Made of sketches, quick lines drawn, yes. There are human faces, legs, stacks of what kind of...
See, the left side is barely off the ground yet. It's because I couldn't get in the mood yesterday, so I gave up and went to meditate instead. Meditate? Seriously? Then it was suddenly morning. I had to work on it, but the guys from art class are helping me with the negative spaces and base surfaces whenever which is a problem. It's easier to paint big areas if there are a lot of people with hands. Hands? The reach is better and it's faster too.
She goes on a tangent of a tangent, waving a little with her arm or whatever of it there actually is, to demonstrate even though I got the point already. The white cotton of her sleeve flaps around and it makes me think it could look sadder than it does. But it makes me feel out of place, like almost every tangible reminder of the student base's special properties has the past few days. This girl doesn't notice my dreary feelings, of course, or the fact that she lost me a while ago already, and she just keeps on blabbering. So that's why I'm trying to.
So that's why I'm trying to figure out if there's something I need to figure out, and then figure that out before it's too late, and all hope is lost for humanity. For humanity.
Why would the
apocalypse and the world then?
Why would the hope be lost?
Because pain has been. Because part has to be painted.
Paint has to be painted.
Because because paint has to be painted, and then it has to dry, and then it has to be painted over with another kind of paint. Paint. I like paint. Paint is cool. It takes time.
She finally stops, apparently thinking she made some kind of statement that makes sense. I think it's best to start from the top. So, this is your project? You did this?
Yes.
All of it?
Yes.
Nice, but I stumble with my words, suddenly feeling like I walked straight into a minefield of political incorrectness.
It's okay, you can say it. I probably won't get mad.
And
probably.
She's smiling about that too.
It's so hard to read her.
I blush really hard. I don't really know.
You had to appreciate the character design that went through in the work that went through with the character design of this particular individual. They managed to make to give her facial expressions that have subtle changes that might portray a double meaning. They're making her difficult to read, literally, because we're reading her dialogues. So that's brilliant character design and characterization in general.
Yeah, I agree. She's got a lot of depth to her. I blush really hard. I don't really know what would be the right thing to say. If any, it feels that I'm way more sensitive than Rin is, though. This is really awkward.
This is comedy gold. Don't you want to ask?
How do you paint without hands?
See? Wasn't that easy? Oh, look at there. Oh, so cute. Adorable. See? I'm an easy person to talk to, right? With my feet. Of course. Wait, what? Wait, what?
I almost guessed that already, but isn't that hard to do? I actually do know someone who actually can paint with their mouth.
For that matter, for that matter, Meathook can paint with his hooks.
Yes, or in his case, paint as in candle wax melting.
Even better. You're good at guessing. Anyway, I don't think it is, but maybe I'm used to it by now.
I can't get my mind around the fact that she could be an artist, but seeing how adept she was using her feet to eat, I figure painting might not be a problem either. Neither of us have anything more to add to the subject.
The afternoon light works pretty well. I was afraid it would look too flat, but it's not like that after all. I think it's actually pretty interesting. I wanted to see what it looks like in dim light. Do you think it's flat?
Well, paintings tend to be flat.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I can tell already that Hisao is not a art person.
Not like that. Not like that. Flat, flat. Like some people are. No substance, no meat where there should be some. I know.
She said, I know a few girls who... Okay, I get it, but I couldn't really tell. I'm not that good with art. I can't name many artists or artistic terms. I'm guessing that Rin was about to bring up the obvious thing most animes tend to bring up.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't really have anything to say.
That female characters appearing in anime tends to be one-dimensional stereotypes.
Rin shrugs her shoulders at that saying, suit yourself, without saying it, and looks up to the sky as if trying to look for something up there.
Don't look too much at the sun. I didn't think I'd get any work done, but if you give me a hand with the paints, I could do a little before it's too dark. I wanted to get a halogen lamp, but like the ones they have at the sports trucks, but there aren't any.
Rin sure is quick to recruit my help, as was Shizune. It really makes me feel that the festival is such a big project that every pair of hands is needed. Why not? I'm not really sure if I can be of any help, though.
It's just buying some paints. You can do that, probably. Do you have motor control problems, like those people who have some? Cerebral
Palsy?
cerebral palsy, maybe?
Not that I know of.
I get it. Yeah, heart thingy has nothing to do with that.
She gives me a sly look for no reason. Perhaps there is a deeper meaning to this sly look.
Or maybe not. Who knows? I cannot read her!
No,
I almost literally cannot read her, because some of the words are blurred out.
No, it doesn't.
Let's see it then.
Do it then. You're gonna make it sound like as if she wants to see his tackle. So she sits down on an empty wooden box and very naturally picks up a wide brush between the toes of her bare right foot. I put a few cans and pour some of the contents into shallow bowls for mixing. The thick paint flows lazily from the can to the bowl like syrup. I mix them, creating funny, hypnotic-looking swirl patterns that melt quickly into each other to form a new monotone hue. Rin sets to work every now and then, asking for me for a hand with something or the other. Finding different brushes is easy enough, but mixing the paints to be exact tone, this girl is apparently seeing in her head is a frustrating ordeal. She wants the precision down to the last millimeter before she is satisfied, but her instructions are obscure at best.
And half a splash of green.
I crouch down to pick up the can of bright green.
There, green, this green. The other green.
I carefully pour some of the other green paint into the mixing bowl. Yes, I'm very familiar with the other green color.
No, that's almost a whole splash. More white. Is green good? Is green a good color to add?
Why are you asking us to use green?
You are the artist.
No idea. You're the artist here.
See? What did I tell you?
A hint of smile appears in the corners of her mouth.
Do you like my opinion?
Do you lack an opinion? It says.
Do you lack an opinion?
No, it's just that I have no idea.
It's okay. Because I just got an idea. Add more white.
With this exclamation, I pour a minuscule amount of white into the bowl and mix it. It looks slightly whiter.
Okay. That's not good. It has to be like the color when you wake up and you know that you saw the
Meaning
meaning of life in your dream but can't remember. So it's like beige.
Okay. Maybe it's
yellow.
Despite the impossibility of mixing a color like the change of seasons or any other nonsense that's being imposed on me, I find myself enjoying it more than I thought I would. Probably because you're also laughing at the random things she's saying.
She is definitely good company.
Seeing a painting being born on the plastered wall feels like magic.
It looks almost completely the same.
Yes, I was gonna say. I spend the moments I have been mixing paint crouching down and praving and just looking at her work. It feels slightly intrusive at first, like breaking some imaginary intimacy, but Rin doesn't seem to mind the least bit. Maybe it's just in my head. Her entire presence emits a completely different air. She patiently works the details, adding layers of paint on top of other layers of paint, steadily moving her foot across the wall to add new shapes. When I manage to produce a passable mixture of paint, the rare smile on her face is oddly rewarding. Apart from the few words when discussing paint mixes, neither of us say a word for the longest time. And even with those short discussions soon evolve into shorthand, both of us developing and using weird impromptu code words for various paints and hues, as if there was some need to conserve words and breath and sound. And it's night.
Alright, we spent the entire day basically scratching on the wall, by the looks of it.
Yes. We stay there late into the evening until it becomes too dark to paint properly.
Transitioning.
Oh, the day's over.
Okay, apparently we slept outside. Okay, I think this would be a good moment to stop then.
Yes, because it's like late o'clock.
Yes, it's definitely 8 o'clock for us that we're recording this session right now, but not for you that will be watching this probably. So yes, save the game and... Okay, so... next session... More of Rin Tezuka. Definitely more of her. So, what do you say? At this point we have to choose, Devar. What do you say, Devar? What path do you want to pursue?
I will decide by next time's episode.
It's going to be Rin Tezuka. Bye!
Goodbye, folks, and take care.
Goodbye.